This is 19-year-old Lindy Jones, who was on trial for murder in South Carolina. In August 2019, Lindy took the life of 18-year-old Willie Antoine Fields. Following an investigation, both Lindy and his younger brother, Jalen Jones, were arrested. Now in court, the victim's mother, Angela Fields, has something to say to Lindy.
I'll let you know, they took away my only child.
Her husband, Willie Clay Fields, tried to console her, but the overwhelming grief became unbearable. Officers quickly intervened and managed to separate him from Lindy. In the end, Lindy received a 35-year prison sentence, while his brother Jalen was given a 6-year term in juvenile detention. Diamond's mother sits in court, attending the trial of 19-year-old Frank Dillon Jr., the man who brutally shot her 16-year-old daughter 22 times on January 11th, 2023. Diamond had been out walking her dog when Frank carried out the heinous act. Investigations revealed that they had been in a relationship that was nearing its end. Frank was promptly arrested. If you expected any remorse from him, what happened in court will leave you speechless. As Diamond's mother confronted the man who had cruelly ended her daughter's life, Frank smirked in response. Overcome with rage, she moved toward him, but before she could reach the remorseless killer, the situation took a shocking turn. Diamond's uncle leaped from the gallery and attacked Frank. Chaos erupted when Frank's mother rushed in to defend her son, going after Diamond's mother, only for Diamond's aunt to retaliate against her. Eventually, law enforcement stepped in and managed to break up the courtroom brawl. Afterward, Diamond's mother spoke to the media.
It was wrong of me because we're not monsters, but it's so much hate because I want my daughter back. And what he did it was horrible. And looking at him that he did that and he's laughing in my face. It was very wrong and I'm so sorry for that.
In the end, Frank took a plea deal and was sentenced to 45 years behind bars. Fortunately, the officers were prepared and stepped in before things spiraled completely out of control. 25-year-old Tristan Laro faces charges of first-degree murder in Utah. On August 23, 2009, Tristan fatally shot his wife, 19-year-old Misty Lamro, in their home. He was later arrested and brought to trial. As Misty's brother, Jason Wilson, took the podium to deliver his victim impact statement, his glare toward Tristan spoke volumes. Though the gravity of Tristan's crimes was immense, his behavior in court was even more unsettling. As Jason recounted the devastating impact of the murder, Tristan appeared indifferent, casually rocking back and forth in his chair. Minutes into his statement, Jason turned his attention directly to his sister's murderer. But Tristan's complete lack of remorse only fueled his fury, and he decided to make his feelings clear. However, security acted swiftly to prevent any serious harm. Order was restored, and despite the tense moment, the trial proceeded. Eventually, Tristan was sentenced to a term of 15 years to life in prison. Michael Madison, a notorious serial killer, faced multiple charges, including 3 counts of murder in Ohio. Between 2012 and 2013, he brutally took the lives of 3 women before finally being apprehended. As his preliminary hearing approached, Michael was about to fully grasp the severity of his actions.
Mr. Madison, I'm going to read to you the nature of the charges against you. In the first charge, you're charged with aggravated murder. On or about the 22nd day of July, you did purposely cause the death of an unidentified female while committing another felony. The offense was committed 1 week to 9 months prior to the finding of the body. That is a Jane Doe murder. The second murder is the same date, on or about the 22nd day of July, of an Angela Deskins while committing another felony. The offense was committed 3 weeks prior to the finding of the body. And then there's a third murder charge. On or about the 22nd day of July, Michael Madison did purposely cause the death of an unidentified female. The offense was committed 1 week to 1 month prior to the finding of the body. All of those are felonies of the first degree. They are punishable by a possible death or life in prison and a $100,000 fine. You understand that?
Yes.
In court, Van Terry, the father of one of the victims, took the stand to address the judge.
Right now, I guess we're supposed to, in our hearts, forgive this crime.
As he spoke, Van Terry turned his focus directly to Michael.
Taking my child.
However, what happened next stunned the entire courtroom. Michael smirked. This single act of arrogance triggered an explosive reaction. The room erupted into chaos, but officers quickly regained control and restored order. With proceedings back on track, the moment arrived for the jury's final decision.
We therefore unanimously find that the sentence of death should be imposed upon the defendant, Michael Madison.
After reviewing the jury's recommendation, Judge Nancy McDonnell read her verdict.
I am struck by the sheer inhumanity of what one human being can do to not one, but three human beings. You cajoled, lured, and deceived Shatisha Shealy, Angela Deskins, and Sherelle Terry to your apartment. You went on to abuse the corpses of these three victims. You stripped them from the waist down, binding them so that their feet were up by their ears. You wrapped them in multiple layers of trash bags, and you discarded them. Upon consideration of the relevant evidence, the testimony exhibits admitted in mitigation, it is a judgment of this court that the aggravated circumstances of course of conduct, felony murder, kidnapping, felony murder, of which the defendant was convicted, outweigh the mitigating factors by proof beyond a reasonable doubt. Accordingly, the sentence of death is imposed upon the defendant, Michael Madison, on counts 1, 4, and 7.
Following the sentencing, the victims' families shared their emotions. Michael Madison remains on death row, awaiting his fate in prison.